Hi, I'm Susan Kassen, the Kassen Realty Team in Dallas, Texas. And today I am going to put my buyer agent hat on and I am going to talk about my three-step process in helping my buyers find the perfect home. So what I'm looking at is the actual house where it's located. I'm gonna look on a map. I look at the Google map. I see, does it back up to a busy street? Does it back up to a shopping center? Just to get an idea of where the home is located. Realtor tip, it also helps me find the house better when I'm actually driving around, if I can remember it from a bird's eye view. I do some quick comps. I just want to know, okay, how is this house priced compared to the other homes in the neighborhood? How many days on the market are most of the homes in the area? Are these all going fast in there? Do I need to get in there quickly? Do we need to write the offer on the roof of my car on the way out? I'm looking at schools. I want to know what proximity is the local school, the elementary school or the high school. Want to know how those are rated. And even if my client does not have kids in school, it always affects resale value, so I'm always looking at the school ratings. The other thing is I'm trying to pull information like the seller's disclosure notice or the survey, things like that that I can get my hands on ahead of time just so there's no surprises, and I might have some ideas of what to look for when I get to the house. So some of our neighborhoods are in mandatory HOAs, or there might be some extra taxes like what we call a MUD or a PID. Those are some extra taxes that the homeowner would have to pay. That is what I do, my homework that I do at the desktop. Then I head out to the home tour. As I'm walking around the house, I'm also looking for some kind of what I call red flags that could affect not just the value of the house, but it can also affect if my buyer can get financing. So these are things that are a little bit more obvious, like big cracks in the foundation. I might see cracks up the brick, or if I see the roof doesn't look that great, or wood rot. I'm always looking at those kind of things, because if I have, for instance, if I have an FHA buyer, they might not be able to purchase that home. The next thing I look at when we get into the house is I'm just looking at the floor plan. You want to know that that floor plan is going to work for your client's lifestyle. You might have something where you have multi-generations that are looking for the house, so you might have like a grandma and the parent and a few children. You want to make sure that floor plan works for them. We're also looking at floor plan for resale. Here in Texas, a lot of people, especially if you're coming from the Midwest, they might not know that most buyers in our area are looking for at least one bedroom downstairs. So if all the bedrooms are upstairs, it can be harder to sell later. And so I always want my buyers to know, it's not impossible to sell upstairs, but it does reduce your buyer pool, so that it might make it a little bit harder to sell that floor plan later. The other thing that I'm looking at is just kind of the quality of the finish out. If it was a flip, I want to make sure that that flipper did a good job. They use quality types of materials. Also looking at just like the bones of the house. I mean, it could be a 1980s looking, you might have some shag carpet and some orange flocked and metallic wallpaper, but it has really good bones. I mean, I can see that. I can see if it has really high quality millwork and a strong foundation. My clients tend to walk straight to the kitchen while I'm walking straight to the garage or the master bedroom closet to look for the electrical panel. That is one of the first things I look for. I just want to know, is it out of date? Are they going to need to repair that before closing? If I'm selling a lot in the North Dallas and Plano Richardson area, a lot of those electrical panels are out of date. I'm also looking at the water heater. Usually those last only about 10 years. And so if I open up the closet and I see a water heater that's brand new, I'm like, yay, but it could also be I've seen some that have been, 15 years old, and I know that's probably going to be an expense for them. I'm looking at that kind of thing, and also the AC. I'm always looking at the air conditioners because that is something that we cannot live without in Texas. Okay, the last thing that I'm looking at usually this is when we're leaving the home, is like, we just like to step back and look at the community. I tell my buyers, hey, drive around the community, see what kind of street noise there is, any kind of traffic congestion, see what kind of amenities are in the community, if there's any parks or trails or pools, community pools. Just kind of drive around. I also tell them to do that at different times during the day, because we might be there in the morning and you might want to know what things look like in the afternoon or in the evening. Okay, after we've done our homework at the desktop and we've seen the house in person, the last thing that I do is go back to the desktop and do a little bit of analysis on the home, just to see, okay, what I've looked at. I just want to go back and look at the comps again, make sure that the prices are in line with what I've seen in person. And then if there are repairs to do, then we can calculate. I can help them kind of get an idea of how much we think there's going to be cost for updates and repairs. And then we just kind of have a discussion about how we think this property might fit their long-term needs. Is this something that, it's got a school down the street and they're going to be able to stay in that house for 20 years? Or is it something that maybe this will work for them for a 5-year plan and they're ready to move on to another house? We just want to look at their long-term needs and figure out if that house works for them. And then we discuss, are we going to make an offer, and what do we want to do? And then I walk them through the process of making an offer and what it looks like once you go under contract, and we just kind of get a picture of what that looks like as far as when you are under contract. I can also go back to the seller and ask for some utility bills or lawn maintenance costs, things like that, that will help give my buyer an understanding of how much it's going to cost to maintain this home. We can also talk about taxes, what their tax payment's going to look like, and also everyone wants to know what kind of crime stats are in the neighborhood. So I have resources for that, so I can help with that as well. At that point, then we decide to make an offer, and hopefully we get the house. Okay, I hope this has been helpful information. If you're looking to buy a new house, hopefully this will help you in kind of creating a checklist for things to look for. If you need my help in any way, my contact information is on my YouTube channel. I'd be happy to help you find a house in the North Dallas area. My name is Susan Kassen with Kassen Realty Team. Please like and subscribe to this channel, share this with friends, and I'd be happy to help you.